Well, hello everyone, this is Trist. Today we're going to talk about tourism, especially over-tourism. Anyway, let's bring the patience. That's very saddening. We have a bad case of too many tourists. Well, except for Thailand. There are different tourists. The cabinet is quite full, so I can't show you every patient. But there's still a lot of patients waiting for recovery. There are many causes for this sickness. Such causes can be either from destination marketing organizations or low-cost carriers, LCCs. But really, any medias that are focused on travels like YouTube travels vlogs can be dangerous. And unfortunately, this can cause severe damage to either the local community or just the environment. Anyway, let's take Japan as an example. A land of the rising sun. An anime. Japan is very beautiful. There are many tourist spots and the transportation system is very efficient. Because of these attributes, Japan faces problems. Well, I will give you a few examples of Japan implementing measures to combat over-tourism. The local council of Kyoto has implemented a ban on tourists from certain parts of the geisha district. And you know why they had to do that? Because those tourists were pulling the hair of geishas. By the way, when I mean tourists, it's not like foreign tourists. This can also be Japanese tourists. And that really makes me angry. I'm fine if you want to visit a country, but please at least respect the culture. That's all I ask. Isn't that common sense? Anyway, next example. I bet you've seen this news already, but have you seen this? I really applaud Japan for trying to mitigate the situations, but tourists are tourists. They will always find another spot and the problem will still continue. Tourists are like bugs. You're trying to get rid of them, but you can't. They always find a way to be annoying. And you've probably heard stories about Chinese tourists behaving badly in Japan, but this is not a case of over-tourism. This is a case of anti-Japanese sentiment in Chinese society. Now we need to define two things. The first one is areas that are built for tourists, and the second one are areas that are adapted to tourists. I will give you two examples. The first one is an international airport. This is obviously built for tourists. And the second one, it's a fairly big town with a few tourist spots. Obviously, it is quite adapted to tourists, but it has a capacity. And at some point, too much tourists can be very dangerous and very bad. And now we'll go over Spain and Italy. It has similar problems to Japan, so we'll go quickly on it. Here we have an example of a small Spanish town fighting over tourism and threatening to ban tourists. And now we have an Italian town who has been having a beef with water since centuries. It's now banning large groups and implementing a fee on day trippers. And now we will talk about Thailand. It's a very beautiful country and Bangkok is very nice too. And I find it pretty sad that a lot of people are coming to Bangkok in Thailand just for the red light district. While I couldn't find any news reporting about problems with that many tourists coming to the red light district of Bangkok, but I'm pretty sure it's still sad that you wish to travel only for such things. And now, continuing on Thailand, let's talk about seas and oceans. Maya Bay, which is a bay in Thailand, has been suffering from over-tourism for quite a while now. This makes me very sad and angry. You know why? Because this is something that could have been avoided so easily. I'm not blaming the Thailand government, I'm blaming the tourists that came each year to this destination. And because that much tourists came, it actually damaged the environment. And that's something that you cannot heal quickly. So please, be more responsible. I'm not saying that you cannot take the plane, because sometimes you're forced to take the plane. What I'm trying to say is that you should go to places where there are no many tourists. Because in that way you can still help the local community by just visiting and spending money on it, while not damaging it. It could be a local community or just local environment. If you go to a place, to a beach where there's no one, just you and some other locals, then that's a win-win for everyone. In Japan, there is more than just Tokyo, Kyoto, or Osaka, or Sapporo, or even Okinawa, or I don't know, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. There's so much stuff to see in Japan. Just don't go to the places where there's just so many tourists. You want to visit a mountain? There's so many other mountains than Mount Fuji. And even here in Switzerland, there's so much things to see just in Zurich, or I don't know, the Alps, like my town. I wish some tourists would come here and, visit it. It would be pretty nice. Anyway, if you liked the video, you can just please subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Anyway, how to finish the video, I don't know. I like bread, I guess.